sentencing of TERICA ELLIS and why she received only 36 months. After reviewing the case extensively, the following facts were presented by her attorney as to why she found herself in the plot involving the demise of Andre Montgomery. The first is that she only completed the 9th grade. Additionally, there were studies presented on women discussing the root cause of violent crimes. Are children raised by absent fathers worse off, which they allege is the case of TERICA ELLIS. The objectification of young women, plus other studies that cannot be mentioned on this platform. Not to mention the 50+ letters written about her character from members of a church that she may or may not have attended. For example, a Dr. Darrell Shack out of the Greater New Liberty Baptist Church states that he's writing this letter to urge leniency in the sentencing of TERICA ELLIS, whom he says he's known and has had the privilege of being an active member of their church for several years. And despite the unfortunate event, he knows that the defendant appreciates the gravity of the mistake and is already taking personal steps to making amends to correct the error of her ways. He continues to say that he can imagine how this entire ordeal has wrecked the lives of many involved, including TERICA, and he is fully committed to supporting TERICA and the family as she starts on this remorseful journey in her life. He says he has come across many people as members of the clergy, and it is his firm belief that if she was given the opportunity, she can live a more productive and contributing life post-rehabilitation. There was also a letter that mentioned that she has a daughter that suffers from sickle cell, and the one letter that I think that aided in her freedom, because 36 months is what that is to me, was written by her daughter, and it says, "Dear Honorable Judge Ross," this is her daughter, and she's writing on behalf of her mother of two, a mother who has always been a mother first to my little sister and I, as her oldest daughter of two transitioning into the real world without my mom here on my side is a burden. Losing my mom to the system put me in a position to where I had to carry the responsibility as a big sister and a mom to my little sister at a young age. It's safe to say that it hasn't been easy, but with my mom being the super mom that she is, has always remained and still makes a way to be involved every day. Every day is not perfect, but my mom always did her best she could, even from where she's at now. She still finds a way to take care of me and my baby sister, and that's what keeps me going and striving as well. The love that my mom has for the both of us, and to know she never gave up on us, even from the distance, is what strengthens me every day. So, all these factors, and the fact that it was a male judge, plus when she took the stand, she was contrite and apologized for her involvement and swore that she had no idea of Tim's intention, aided in her receiving the 3 years that the judge handed down. And no, there will be no credit for time served. She will be required to serve all 36 months. That's 1,096 days in that cage that she put herself in for $10,000. Payment for the life of a gullible 21-year-old at her big age of 39. Finally, when she's released, she will be on supervised release for 3 years, plus she will have to pay $100 as a special assessment. And there you have it, folks. TERICA ELLIS will be young enough upon release to start a new family and resume her career in that so-called entertainment industry as if nothing happened. But I suspect this isn't the last time we will hear news about TERICA ELLIS. I'm sure she'll be on some OnlyFans page, so stay tuned. Some of you may be saying, "D, give her some grace. She made a mistake and she has kids, so she deserves a second chance." Let me say this, that the same grace that you want to extend to this woman, would you do the same if it were your son or brother? Imagine you send your son to his grandmother for a better life. Imagine you send your son to his grandmother for a better life. Then he calls you and lets you know that his father's family has him living in squalor. Then they accuse him of stealing $200,000. He calls you again as a family and swears that he didn't. And to prove he didn't to his grandmother, whom he loves so much, he literally re-enters the lion's den. And instead of emerging like David in the lion's den, his mother, receives word that he was killed on the same road that all the men in his family have. Distraught, you also hear rumblings that his own uncle set this whole thing up, and that his grandmother and uncle had life insurance on your son to the tune of almost $500,000. Then, you also hear that a stripper 10 years older than your son pursued him and lured him to his death for $10,000. And now, this same stripper only receives 3 years for aiding in your son's demise. Then, she gets on the stand in court at sentencing, saying under oath that she had no idea that she was setting your son up to his end, and only gets to spend 36 months locked up away from those same kids that she left on her trips to the various exotic clubs and hotel rooms like the one she would meet Tim and his hips for their rendezvous and to plot the demise of your son, while for the rest of your life as a mother, sister, brother, and cousin, you get to visit your son in a cemetery. And while his so-called family gets to move on with their lives and enjoy Christmas and holidays, you will be mourning because you thought you were doing the right thing as a mother. The only grace that's appropriate here is the one from God himself, and not Michelle Griggs or anyone in the Griggs family. Until then, let's keep Andre's family in our prayers, because I'm sure this is a challenging time for them. Also, remember that Tim's sentencing is scheduled for March 10th, so let's see if he gets the life in prison that he earned. Thank you for stopping by and taking the time to check out our channel. I hope you become part of our family. I hope you become part of our community. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay up to date on all the latest videos. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.